Hi, today I'm doing the book unhaul challenge. For those of you who don't know, a book unhaul is basically just getting rid of books. The book unhaul challenge is a challenge came up with by another YouTuber, Books and Lala. I'll be linking her video down below, where there are 10 questions you use as a guide to get rid of your book. For each question, you have to get rid of a book that fits the prompt in that question. These are the questions you have to ask yourself to finally get rid of the books that you've been too stubborn to get rid of. Now I'm just projecting my own issues on you, but okay. Question 1 is a book that you gave a low rating to. By low, I don't mean that I rated them low, I just rated them lower than the other books in my collection, because I didn't like them as much. The first one is Pahlawan Pasir Salak. This is a Malay book from my school literature in Form 2. I've been having this since 2007. I'm just keeping it for sentimental value because I don't usually get rid of my books. But I didn't like this. I didn't like this because it's a war story. It's not that it's objectively a bad book. I just don't like books about war and action. It's just not my personal taste. So I'm getting rid of this one. The next one is Truth or Dare. This one, I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it as much. And it's a series, so it didn't really end conclusively. Just had an open ending. And I wasn't interested enough to continue the series. The next one is Romance on the Run. This one, I didn't like it as much as the other romances I read. I don't remember much from it, but I know that I didn't enjoy it as much. I didn't hate it or anything, I just don't like it enough to keep it. Okay, the next question is a book that I changed my mind about, as in I don't like it anymore. I don't think I changed my mind about any book that I have. Like, if I liked it, I like it. If I didn't like it, I didn't like it. There may be some that I've outgrown, but I still have the same opinion of the book. So the next question, I'm moving on to the third one, is a book series that I won't complete. Okay, firstly, we have the Gossip Girl series. I'm not going to be completing the series. I like these two books, but there's so many books, and it doesn't even end the way I want it. I know it ends, and I don't like it at all. So, not going to bother reading all those books for an ending that I don't like. I don't even have the time anyways. But not getting rid of these books because they have some sentimental value to me. And look at this one. It has the show cover and everything. I just don't want to get rid of it. But I mean, since the question asks for a series that I'm not going to complete, I have to bring it up as a potential, but I'm not getting rid of these. Another series is the Enid Blyton's Mallory Tower series. I read the first 2 books. I mean, no, I didn't finish the second book. Life got in the way. I mean, I liked the books, but, you know, I just didn't get around to finishing it. And now I'm way too old to be finishing these books. But I also don't feel like getting rid of them. Honestly, I have like a bigger impulse to just buy the last book and complete the collection because it seems so sad to have 5 out of 6. So I think this one might go in the maybe pile. But that's this book from the first question that fits this prompt. I already have 3 for that question, so this one can fit the series I won't complete, right? The next question is a book that I DNF'd or did not finish. Okay, the first one is Emily of New Moon. I read this when I was like 10 or 11, and I didn't get through past the first few chapters. I didn't hate it or anything, but just kind of boring. I mean, a little boring. I could have maybe got through it, but I just didn't. You can get through it, and I'm not going to read it. So, and the next one is Charmed. I bought it for the cover. I mean, I bought it because it's Charmed, but I didn't understand a single thing because I think this is not the first book. This is like somewhere in between, so I kind of lost in between, and it wasn't even interesting anyways. Watching the show is more interesting than reading the book, so. But hey, those are 2 more series for the series question that I won't be finishing. The next question is a book that I have multiple copies of. Okay, for these I have several. Okay, first I have Anne of Green Gables. I have the Scholastic version that I had since I was 10, and it looks really. I used to love these versions. Okay, let me show you the 3. Okay, The Secret Garden, Little Princess, and Anne of Green Gables. My dad bought these for me when we were in Australia, and I used to love these. And now they're just like mass market paperbacks, and I want better copies. So I got a better copy of Anne of Green Gables. For now, I have better copies of The Princess, A Little Princess and the Secret Garden. I should probably get even better copies, but okay, but anyways, I'm getting rid of the mass market paperbacks and keeping these. Okay, next, I have 2 copies of Pride and Prejudice. Well, this one I got it because it's a prettier copy, and this is just a paperback, so I'll get rid of the paperback. And last but not least, I have 3 copies of Sense and Sensibility. And before you judge, there's a perfectly valid reason why I have 3 copies. Okay, first I got this one in 2005. And I didn't read it. I didn't get around to reading it, but it still got bad. I mean, time took a toll on this baby. And when I still wanted to read it. Years later, I got a better copy. And before I got around to reading that one, I was on a vacation in Australia, and we found this nice leather bound version. So I had to get the leather bound version, and I'm getting rid of both the mass market paperbacks and keeping the nice leather version. Okay, the next question is a book that you'll never actually get to. For this, I have 6 books. Okay, the first one is I'm Nobody, Who Are You? It's a poetry book. It's part of the Scholastic collection that I showed you just now. And I don't usually read poetry. I mean, objectively, I think poetry is great, but it's just not my style, not the things that I read. I mean, I read some of it, but I wouldn't actually read a whole poetry book. So, and the next one is Fallen Hearts. This one I was interested in the premise, then I find out certain things that happen in the book, and I started from the ending. I know this took me the wrong way, so I don't want to read it. Scarlet and Ivy. This one, I don't have time to start another series. I already so many in my TBR, so, and if I want to read it, I can just get another copy, a hardcover copy. And the next one is for The First Test. This one my dad bought for me when I was a child, and I'm just not interested in the premise of, you know, the war and training to be a knight. So it's not that objectively bad, it's just not to my taste. And the next one is Wuthering Heights, and I'm not, again, it's the same thing. I was interested in the premise, but when I find out what happens in it, and it's just too dark for me. And the same with Test of the D'Urbervilles. I was interested in the premise, then I find out what happens, and it's just not what I want to read. Okay, the next one is a book that I bought because of the hype. Okay, I'm going to do 2 at once. A book that I bought because of the hype, and a book that I bought because of the cover. Okay, so far there are none that I want to get rid of, but these are the only 2 that actually come to mind. The Harry Potter and the Cursed Child and Fantastic Beasts. I bought it for the Harry Potter hype and because he had nice covers, but I'm not getting rid of them because I want them to be part of my Harry Potter collection, even though they aren't good. I mean, okay, this one is not that it's not good. The movie might be good. I've never seen it, but I'm not going to read a movie script. I'm just keeping it because it's a Harry Potter book and it's a pretty book. This one sucked. You can see my review on my channel, but I'm still keeping it for my Harry Potter collection. Okay, the next question is a book that I don't know anything about. I don't think I have any book of which I don't know anything about. So the next one is a book that I didn't buy. Does it count if my parents buy it? Does it count as someone else buying it if my parents bought it for me? Because that pretty much applies to most of the books I just got rid of. But anyways, not counting my parents, there's The Princess Diaries from my friend. Okay, part of me feels bad and sentimental to get rid of a book that my friend gave me. But the thing is, this is the second book in the series, and while I liked what I read, I was confused because I didn't read the first book. So I'm not sure if I even have time to get into the series or anything, or get the first book. And I already have another book from this friend that I'm still keeping anyway, so I think I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay, those are all the questions. And these are all the books I get rid so far. You can't see a whole of it, there's too many. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, 16 books. So that's 6 more than 10. So challenge, success. And try this challenge at home if you're interested. And if you're interested in more videos on book reviews and these kind of book videos or media discussion videos, you can consider subscribing to me. And if you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. I will see you in another video.